I was recently on a photo shoot and set up my tripod to try and get a shot of these bottles, and because of the light coming in, I figured I need to take two exposures. So that's exactly what I did. One kind of exposed for the bottles and one exposed for the window. Now the question is, how do I combine them together? So I won't do this part. Basically, I just opened them in Camera Raw and opened one of each of the exposures, the overexposed window and the underexposed bottles, and brought those into Photoshop and basically combined them together so you can see they are here. Now, one thing I did do, because even with the tripod I'm always a little concerned, is I selected both of the layers and used the auto align layers feature to make sure they were nicely lined up. Now, I'm taking advantage of a CS3 feature here because one of the challenges is I really want the sky to show through the window and the bottles to stay as they are. So one thing I thought I might try, and this would be something you could certainly try, I just double clicked on this layer to bring the blend if sliders, thinking what if I move this white slider so that the sky started showing through the window. And it's not bad, it's a little off. Like if I break these sliders, and Matt's shown tutorials like this before, that actually looks pretty good. In fact, it looks quite good, but in some cases it won't look quite as good. So I wanted to at least try to see what else is possible, and I came across something that I think has some interesting possibilities. Not for every photo, but I'll show you a couple of situations where it actually works pretty well because it's so automatic. So all I have, again, is my two layers lined up. I'm selecting them both, and I'm going to turn it into a smart object. Then, and again, this is the CS3 extended part, I'm going to go back to Smart Objects to Stack Mode and change it to Median. Now there's all these math. I've tried them all, but the one that gave me the best result was the Median because my way of understanding it is it takes sort of the middle ground between the overexposed and the underexposed. So when I choose that, you see it does a little bit of both. It brings a little bit of the blueness into the window. It makes everything a little darker, but still pretty nice. If we undo and redo, see, it's done a pretty good job without having to make any kind of selections. So with that in mind, I tried a second alternative, which is this one, and basically did the same thing. These were two shots that I'd taken. Again, one really underexposed for the building so the sky looked better, and one exposed for the building, and again, same idea. Now in this particular case, having done the first experiment, I found that it kind of toned things down a bit, so I deliberately made this a little darker and made this one a little lighter, thinking that if it's going to do the middle ground. So once again, change it to a smart object and then go back to this stack mode median. It does a pretty nice job. I like the fact that there's no need to do any kind of masking or anything else. So it's not going to work in every case, of course, but the point of this is it's a nice automatic way when you have two exposures, either two taken at the time on your camera, or if you make two exposures out of Camera Raw. So try it out, check it yourself. I think it's a pretty cool way to try, just another different way to take two exposures of the same photo and combine it together pretty automatically. Of course, there's no rule that says you have to apply this to two exposures of the same photo. You could try anything you wanted, just do the same thing. Convert to a smart object and then go into the stack mode and pick something and see if you like it or not. Anyway, I'm Dave Cross. I'll see you next time.